Call regular council meeting to order, May 21st, 7 o'clock p.m. Any additions to the agenda?
I'd like to add something on new business.
Okay.
This work session.
You say work session?
Correct.
Any other additions? I'd entertain a motion for the addition to the agenda.
I'll make a motion to add work session to the agenda.
Second it.
Motion on the table and a second, all in favor? Any more discussion? All opposed? Okay, consent agenda. Approve the minutes from regular council meeting, May the 7th, 2024. I entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve regular council minutes meeting minutes on May 7th, 2024.
Motion on the table, here a second?
Second.
Second by Sarah. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? That's 4-0.
I'll abstain because I wasn't there.
Okay. Aaron abstained. I'd entertain an appropriation ordinance 052124 AP for the amount of $109,796.10.
Make a motion to pay appropriation ordinance 052124 AP for $109,796.10.
Have a motion on the table. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Got a motion on the table by Aaron, a second by Aaron Gleason. Any more discussion? Everybody had a chance to look at it? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Show Mark Bryant being gone for the whole meeting. Entertain a motion for petty cash in the amount of $643.39.
Make a motion to approve petty cash for $643.39.
Motion on the table by Aaron Raines. Here a second?
Second.
Second by Aaron Gleason. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Department heads, electric department, Curtis, you got anything?
Nothing really. Nothing.
Council got any questions for Curtis?
Do you have a brief explanation on the power outage?
Yeah, we took a lightning strike, burned up some relays, messed up a breaker,
Okay.
found another burned up relay and a fuel pump today. Got it. Everything's back to normal now.
Did you have to go get parts, or did you have to work with anybody?
We ended up physically pulling out a breaker, switching out the spare. It wouldn't close properly. Fought it for a while, finally got it closed manually. But I want to thank all departments. They did an excellent job to help out.
Yep.
Everybody was out helping, so.
Yep.
It was frustrating.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we were up and running less than 10 minutes and we got hit.
Yeah.
Everything just went blank. Station power breakers the one that took a shot. Without it, we can't do nothing. So we got it. A lot of cuss words, lots learning later.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for getting them back going.
Yeah, it was still
Thanks for everybody being
It was
patient.
still
There
on.
was some negativity, but it's
Very
always.
timely.
Yeah, I would say it was less than 300, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that bad.
The only other thing I got is probably new business. Be on the sheriff's auction. Maybe bidding on what is it, Bobcat?
I think so.
UTV for like a new spray wagon. Our other one's kind of a pain in the butt. But I think that'd be new business.
Like for spraying the sides of the
Strike
roads.
bees and
Yeah.
roads and stuff and travel. Like I said, I just want to tell everybody thanks to all departments.
Is that something council will instruct him to go ahead and look at?
The auction is
The
on
auction.
June 1st.
June the 1st?
So it would need to happen this meeting.
Yeah, I mean, you can set a limit of how much he can spend and then have him go out there, or you guys can go out there.
We should discuss that under executive though, right? Bidding on
It's a live auction, isn't
live
it?
auction.
Yeah, I think it is.
So we probably want to discuss or
Or prices under
have
executive.
a private.
Mhm. Property
Have you got any
acquisition.
information on it, Curtis?
No, I just have to think about it. also see what kind of value they have and all that.
Didn't we buy that one we have since I've been on? Cause weren't we using the Rex?
Yeah, we
And then
were.
we gave the Rex back
Yeah.
and we bought, I don't even remember what we have though, to be
It's-
honest.
Almost like the wreck, pretty much, but
Where did we buy that from?
Great Bend, the
Okay.
golf cart place in Great Bend.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Is that a golf cart or?
No, it's not a golf cart. It's like utility vehicle, like a smaller size.
I'm pulling it.
Yeah. No, it's not a golf cart.
Is that what the bottom line?
I'd call it
Yeah.
something like you'd see at like a football stadium,
Yeah,
the halls, like
yeah.
a medical
Like a gator
cart.
type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
the
okay.
back
Yeah.
kind of like you can
Yeah.
lift it up to dump stuff in the back.
So that's what.
That's the sheriff auction.
Yes.
But yeah, ours is kinda,
They're sure they're weird.
Okay.
You don't have any details on it?
No, like I said, I forgot it was coming up, and kinda, sorry about it, kinda late.
Sorry, they're.
I
a
can get
Bobcat?
information
Mhm.
tomorrow and I can email it to you guys.
Is that something you guys wanna add to the executive session, or is that something that your choice?
I don't know if we can put an adequate price on it without knowing more details.
I don't think so.
And it, something you guys, maybe one of you guys wanna venture out and do it, go to the auction or something, or virtue.
we're not gonna have a meeting before the first.
Is it June 1st?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Yeah. So the one we have, what issues is it giving you, or what's
It's
the?
had a new motor put in it, and it's not wanting to go into drive, not wanting to go into reverse, not wanting to run half time, stay running anyway.
How many years have we
Small
had
issue.
it?
3 or 4.
Yeah,
Up there.
maybe 5.
Yeah, I remember buying it since I was on, so
Yeah.
Do you remember
before
how
the
much it
most,
cost?
I do not remember what, I don't,
You buy it used or new?
It was used.
yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
think it was anything special when we bought it. I think it was the rec wanted theirs back, let's
We
needed it.
let's get something,
Yeah.
because if we aren't gonna have, we need something, and I think it was probably not, I don't think we spent probably a lot of money on it. But I do not remember what we gave.
I don't either.
Were we anticipating this in the budget last year, for this year?
I mean, there's the money's there. I mean, if that's something that you guys wanted to spend, we can. But if there is a equipment reserve fund
Okay.
in there. But obviously, there's other equipments that you can spend money on as well. So that's up to you guys.
You know how much is in there?
Does it say what year that is? Tori?
It doesn't, it's just pictures of what's gonna be included, I
374,000.
tried to download the brochure.
What's on the
and I don't
side of
think
it?
it's on
What
there.
was the number? on
2200, wasn't it?
2200, yeah, I was trying to look it up right
It's a
now.
Bobcat.
Yeah, that's the brand I think I saw.
And you said there's 374,000?
Right, but that, save, like we save, that's for like the loader, the payment for the loader and the police vehicles that they've been putting money in each year it's already in there as well, and so it's kind of shared between all departments.
Yeah, it'd be good to know how many hours are on it. Looks like they kind of range based on hours.
Is there a price on it?
Anywhere from 6 to 11 or 12,000. The $6,000 one has
But you also don't know how
1,200
well
miles
that
on,
thing
1,200
runs. I mean,
hours
it's
on it.
something that they seized.
Yeah, some of those seizures are not,
In rough shape.
Yeah, I'd say if we think it's a need, we just need to look at it harder, more detailed, what we got. I'd be interested to know what we paid for what we got, if you can look that up, but not that it really matters, but, and then,
How much it costs to get it repaired?
yeah, and then, I mean, I'd be okay to look at something similar, get some prices, and, I mean, I'm okay to look at replacing it if we want to, but we need,
Replace it and then have another one as a spare. Just
Yeah.
fix it.
yeah,
If it's,
That
Worth
would be a good idea.
I think let's look at it, but I don't think we probably can make a decision on this one
Tonight.
tonight,
you know,
but.
sounds good to me.
Okay, moving on. Any other questions for Curtis? Got that electric department took care of. Water department, Jason.
Well, just real quick on that pool, I told a couple of you that, the big pool is still leaking. And, so we had sat there and it's lowering down, it was losing a foot in 18 hours. And so we're taking it down, we're taking it back down, and we got it we're taking it in sections so we can kind of pinpoint where this might be leaking at. And so it's down at the bottom. We sat there and kind of figured out we're gonna get some extra caulking. We got it today, and we're gonna do that seam just a little bit better. Try to cover up what we can. There's really fine line there, and we're gonna try to do that. But real quick to draw you a picture of this, this is what happened on the baby pool or the intermediate pool, and this is what I'm thinking is going on. This right here is the reason they couldn't find that is because the drain box goes down like this, and here's the concrete. Well, that has threads in it about like that much, and then it has a threads in it, and they screwed that in, and then PVC piped it underneath all the way to the other pool to where it goes. They put their football pig right in like this, and I think and they aired it up, and I think that's what caused that, is they couldn't, because they were airing up, and that pig was covering up that crack because it cracked right there. And those threads, right on the edge of that, and I think their football pig was what was sealing it, and then that's why when they were blowing air to it, they couldn't find it in the intermediate pool until when Dale was pushing his hand through there after they took it out we went in there the next day, then you could see it just gushing water right in through here in dirt and mud. So that is the same box that's in 2 boxes in the big pool, and I'm almost wondering if it's not like that when they did the same thing. And that's what I'm thinking, because it's still going down after we went past the part where it goes deep, like this, and then right there's that seam. We went past, the water's right here, and it's so dirty, we washed all this down, we're gonna see where this mud ring is all the way around this dirt pot and see where it is, and then if it's going down like this tomorrow, then it's got to be at those boxes down here. It's the same, like I said, it's the same thing, it comes out, and then see the other thing is when it comes out, it meets up with the other one, and then it goes all the way up to about right here, and then goes over to, and then comes up into the pump. And I'm thinking it's right there. And that's what we gotta set there, that's why we took it down here, so we're gonna put more caulking in this tomorrow, because we're letting it dry today. And then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna see where it is right here, and if that's the case, that's why we were leaving it here, and it was still dropping, and so then now we're going to here and see if it's there. And if it doesn't drop hardly at all, then we're gonna sit there and concentrate on that, but I'm almost banking it's right there. And that's what I think, they got their pigs in there just like they did that, and it caused it to seal up, and they couldn't sit there when they put pressure to it and held that 20 pounds for 10 minutes. And that's why it was holding, because that was blocking it off right there.
Can you get to it from the inside of the pool?
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then we're gonna have to sit there and jackhammer all those both out on each side around that drain squares. And then we're gonna have to sit there and either get a new drain or sit there and try to unscrew this, jackhammer it more over that way, so we can have new or better pipe to sit there and glue to, and then put those same ones if we can back in, and then have him pour it back, help us pour it back or whatever. I just don't trust myself enough to know to pour that what strength of asphalt, all that to put it back in. Where to put the rebar, cause that is an awful lot of pressure down there for old Jace to sit there and make that decision and spend that much money. And I'm not that good at concrete. I poured it, but I'm just not that good at it. And it scares me to do that and spend all this time and money on it and say, well, Jace, why didn't you do that? You know, so that's where I'm at with that. Because if that's where it is, then we can get Chris to help us pour it back the way he did the other pool, and then have it done right, hopefully the first time, like he did that one. Because what's funny is we poured all that in, and we couldn't get the water out of that one now, so we had to pump it out when this one was full. So he did that one's holding water now, so that's a plus. Because when they put all that new in there, that new drain and everything, it's working great. So that's what I have for you on that's where we're at right now. So tomorrow, if this drops, then we're kind of knowing where it's at. So I thought I'd just share that with you to let you know that.
So we paid leak detectors a bunch of money for no reason.
Well, not really. I mean, we did and we didn't, because I mean, the only thing is if they wouldn't have had the way their football was, they would have never known it anyway. Because that's I figured out that's what happened. Because when we pulled that, they left one of their football pigs there down the bottom by accident, and when we pulled it out, you can see exactly they shoved it all the way in there to where it was aired up where that crack was. So.
And then you just happened, correct me on the timeline, one of you guys just happened to find it when you put your hand inside the drain?
Yeah,
What's it?
the intermediate pool, yeah.
Okay, the intermediate pool.
Mm-hmm. Because we were trying to get that stuff cleaned out before they got there, and so they could sit there and just go ahead and fix it.
Right.
And then we just like, well, we know it's here somewhere, and Dale just happened to reach his hand down in there and start digging that old concrete out. They busted out, and it kept on just gushing stuff right in that square drain. And
So-
that's where it's at now.
So based on tomorrow, if it goes down, then what do we do?
We don't really have any other choice. If you want to stay open, you have to fix it.
Because you're losing what do you say? How many inches
It's
in
like
18 hours?
Well, Stephanie just texted me earlier and said that was doing that for like a week or two, and then it finally slowed down, and I assumed it's because maybe that sand was so saturated underneath that pool there wasn't no place for it to go. The whole pool was maybe full of water by then. So I told her, I said I'd touch base with her tomorrow and let her know what's going on, keep her up to date on it. But that guys, that's what us three are thinking on that pool. Like I said, I'm giving you my 2 cents. It might not be worth nothing because I'm not the pool person, but I'm just going off of what we found at the other one where the football is.
I don't think you've got any other choice. If it's leaking, chisel it out of there and redo it, just like you did the other one. That's something Chris done, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, but the pool renovation guys, they're the ones that did the busting out the concrete and everything like this. And I thought, you know what? We're not doing streets this year. We could get in there and cut the big. I'm gonna call Chris what he thinks, how big a 4x4, 6x6, whatever he thinks around that square box drain, and see if we can't go back in with that and see what he thinks there, and just use those again.
Once you cut that cement out, you can get to the pipe, right?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping it doesn't go down further, but the way the as-bills looked, it's probably just about like this far down.
Okay.
Because it matter of fact, I know the pipe, you can see the pipe, it's about that deep, and the pipe is about right here to there
Okay.
on that box.
So
it's got to be that low all the way up, and then it goes over, meets with the other one on the north one, then it goes on over a little bit, and then up, and then over, and then to the pump. The way
Do you think you could get to the cracked spot
Yes.
once it's cut out?
Yes, because the way the other one is, it was just right off that threads on those boxes were only about that long, and so they all they did was put that coupling with the screw. They doped it and then screwed it in there, and it broke right there where it meets metal to plastic PVC, and they had their football in right there, and when they aired it up, it sealed it off. And that's why they were keeping the pressure. So,
Well, no more tomorrow.
yeah,
So
So
you're
if it-
thinking that we could do the breakout work and then just have Chris come in and reinstall drains,
I'm thinking,
is the
yeah.
hope, cause it, you know, Chris did a nice job on the last one,
Oh yeah, he did a nice job on it.
and it seems, you said it was holding water.
Yeah, so we had to get a pump in there to pump the rainwater out.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to sit there and we didn't, because we were getting, I thought we had time, we were gonna sit there and try to go ahead and cut it early and put the acid in, but here come that wind and the leaves filled it right back up after we sat there and washed it all out, so. I said, there's no sense in it. Cause we were gonna acid clean it out today, so while that's empty, we could be painting this, busting that out, when he's filling, paint this one, blah, 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 and have them all ready to go when it's all done. So, yeah. That's what we're thinking, whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, that's,
So if it doesn't go down, the leak is in that seam where it goes low, right, where it meets, is what you're saying? Is
Yes.
If it doesn't go down,
well, yeah, but we're gonna fill that anyway.
you're gonna fill it either way.
Yeah,
But
because
then-
we already got, we're gonna fill it, we're gonna caulk it, or put caulking in there anyway and get that just where it's
Right.
done.
Sure. But then, if it doesn't drain, if it doesn't leak anymore, then you'll let that caulking dry
Yeah.
and just fill it up.
Yeah, I guess, if that's it, there's one little spot right about like this long that was just like worn out right there, caulking. And if that drained that whole pool that fast, wow.
Yeah.
But we're gonna just get an air pick down there, blow it out real good and fill it up. And that was the only bad spot there. And so if we see that dirt ring where it's stuck, cause it was dirt, I mean, it's, from that storm we had, it filled it in, it was just dirty. And so we sat there and washed everything down and we got it right down there, and when we quit, there's a big old ring right there, it should show it by tomorrow. And if it's down that far, then we know it's still down there. And if it's not, I don't
Kinda
know.
lucky.
That's all I have on that. So,
Do you have anything else, Jason?
just that, see if you guys wanted to talk about that,
The
the
lane.
4 vessels and lane.
I think that needs to be done.
So like the longer we wait, the higher the price we'll get.
Yeah, what's the quote at now?
176 something.
Yeah. I think that was, Bobby, you
175, 350.
kinda indicated that was known since from the get-go that we were gonna have a 10 to 12 year lifespan on these, and we've met it. So I don't think,
And you said it would come out of that capital improvement fund?
Yeah, I did a little bit of research on this capital improvement water. I mean, it looks like they were using this fund as a saving account for the
For
nitrate
that
plant.
specifically.
Cause nothing had been spent out of it, and the auditor said that you can use it for anything relating to water.
Can this
Water
also be our
system.
savings account for the water tower?
Yes.
That we
Yes.
talked about?
So that would, like, this would definitely cover the nitrate plans, the water tower maintenance agreement, and anything that related to water. But I would suggest maybe the main focus of us for this fund is the nitrate plan and not try to use it for anything else. Cause we have money if we want to transfer it to save it for the water tower. I would prefer we transfer it out of like water fund at the end of the month into like capital improvement or capital improvement fund for that water tower, and just save this for the nitrate plants, because everything is so expensive there.
and how much are we budgeting per year to go into that fund?
This is actually, we charge every resident $6 per month. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
about 6,000 monthly that going into this
So
fund.
that's its only contribution is
Yes.
from our utility bill.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing difference on that, Kyle, you were asking, it was a 10, 12-year period. I think when they were talking about, there was a tad over $100,000. 12 year, $65,000 more money down the road 12 years. And it'll probably be that much more 10 years from now. Who knows? I don't know.
But if the $6 a month from the utility bill and it's only used for the media at the nitrate, you would have it budgeted for.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it goes up tremendously.
Sure, but
Let's see, 6,000 times 12 would be 612.
36. Oh,
so
472.
you have
$72,000.
72 years, so you'd
Oh,
have it.
yeah, 11 years you're gonna put.
And we can always, if it's getting to where it's not covering it, we can look at the rates and, you know, adjust it. So,
Yeah, we haven't adjusted any rates on our utility bills in a long time, right?
funny you say that. The rate study's finished, so we'll be presenting that soon. From the look of it, our electric rates is pretty comparable to other cities, but our water rates are out of range. Basically, we're not charging, when we put in the nitrate plants from the study that we did, they didn't rate the rates enough to cover the cost of operating that plant. The only reason why we have enough money is because of the electric fund's been funding the water. That's how we were making it this far. But now that the fund is starting to run out, we're starting to see a lot of losses in the water department. So that's the rate that we're going to be looking at and adjust. But that would be, Greg will not be able to be here until I think the second meeting in June. So we'll talk about all of that. But yeah, we haven't raised, the last rate that we raised was the water rate in 2012. So
Yeah, we're probably overdue then.
yeah, the electric rate hasn't been raised since like 1980 something, I think.
But if we're comparable to our peers, we
Yeah.
probably
Yes.
should leave that alone.
Yeah,
but
he
if we're at it-
advised that we don't need to do anything with the electric. We added that power cost adjustment to our utility bills back in like 19 something. I'll have to look at the date again, and that kept us in the average range. And actually, the electric department is making money. If it's not supporting the water, then it will have more money in electric fund, which in turn have more money to transfer into the general fund to give us more breathing room in the general fund. So
On a percentage basis, how much are we behind other municipalities for the water?
the water, we're 9%. Yeah, 9% lost. Yeah, lost.
Okay.
So that's quite a bit for a city our size.
I think we should go back to the nitrate, quote.
Yeah.
I'd make a,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. I'd make a motion to approve the quote, from Lane to replace the media at the nitrate plant in the amount of $175,350 to come out of the capital improvement water system fund.
Second.
Got a motion on the table by Aaron, a second by Kyle. Any more discussion on the lane money for the immediate? If not, I'd entertain a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Any other questions for Jason? You wanna instruct him anyway on the swimming pool if we got a leak or if it's below or anything like that?
Fix it.
Yeah, fix it. Get,
I'm gonna try to find somebody with a little camera and to shove in there so I can maybe, to verify, to see the best I can. I need to find somebody for one tomorrow. I heard a couple people might have them in town, we're gonna go see if we can use them.
Did that company that camera the sewer line a couple years ago, can't they do that? Mayor specialty?
Well, no, they got too big of a camera.
Oh.
That's for, 6 or 8 to 12 inch.
I think they've got a camera out at Napa that you can read off your phone, and I'm gonna talk out of school here because I don't know the first thing about what I'm talking about. But they say it'll go back in a couple foot with some kind of deal, and you read it off your phone.
Yeah.
I don't know how plain it is, but I got a hand that bought one. They said it was like $260. It's something you might check into.
Well, if it goes in that far, we can take it in, real slow and see if we can't see
You
that.
guys know anything about that?
No, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know anything
I don't
about
either.
them. I mean, I figured
I mean,
they're pretty common, probably.
camera
but-
sensors are this big, so somebody makes one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm maybe talking out of school. I don't know, but you might check out in Napa. That's because that's where he bought that. I've never seen him use it yet, but whatever. Okay, moving on. We got, we're gonna fix the pool, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Uh,
Jason, I know we've got several things going on, but we'll work on some mowing this week, right, for Jubilee,
Oh, yeah.
mow the parks
Yeah.
and the square,
Yeah, the 2 parks should be done. I think they're done. He's gonna work on this tomorrow because we gotta mark out those boxes and stuff
Okay.
for the vendors. Yeah.
Anything else, Jason?
No, that's it for me. Streets.
Moving on. Police Chief, Tori.
I don't have anything, I was just gonna let you guys know that Patrick's back, but obviously.
Congrats.
Glad to have you back.
I'm happy to be back.
Any questions for Tori from the council? No further questions. Fire Chief, Mike here? No? You don't have anything anyway, I'm sure. City Clerk Pam.
I don't have anything. Everything that I have is under new business. So unless you guys have questions for me.
Council, got any questions for Pam? Other
No, I
than
guess
Outside of new business.
the house violation, and, we'll get to that here before too long. Okay, moving on. Danny, you got anything?
Not much. We talked about the junk vehicles and the procedure to get to auction on them. They basically you got to have them for 30 days. You got to run a title search to the state, mail out certified notice to the owner, then you got to publish twice before you can sell them. So between impound fees and notice of publication, it could add up to, depending on what the vehicle is, it may not be worth it to go that route. But it's got the municipal court option too, so.
I think that's exactly what we got into the last time we went down this road.
So for the municipal court, like if we were to go that route, so we issue a notice to appear because of this violation. They come to court, and if they found like guilty, what happened then?
Basically through court, judge could issue a fine, she could issue an order for them to get the vehicle removed. If they don't comply with judge's order, she could find them in contempt. Potentially it could get to jail time, I think, if she wanted to on the contempt, but that generally she starts her municipal court cases saying, I'm not considering jail as an option, because once you consider jail, that triggers a right to counsel, then you incur the expense of if they need an attorney, you gotta appoint one for them. So the biggest thing that we'd have there is we could impose a fine if they haven't fixed it. If they fix it, we can offer to dismiss it without the fine or without the cost, just to get them to take care of it, and if not, stack a monetary penalty on them for not complying with it. That's about the biggest thing that we'd have there.
And if they don't pay, is there an option to send it to collection to try to get the money?
Yeah,
Because I like this municipal court route, just because of the time period, the waiting period, the cost, and it doesn't really cost us anything to issue a notice to appear. And
and we don't have to tow it, we don't have to store it, we don't have to impound it.
So is that kind of your recommendation?
I think that's gonna be more productive, because
Okay.
odds are if it's a vehicle that's sitting there because it can't run or it's junked, by the time you get through the publication, the impound fees, you sell it at auction, you're not gonna be left with much after paying those.
But wouldn't our impound fees, isn't it just a set fee if we use Marshall, because do we still have that contract with him? We just pay a set fee no matter how many vehicles we have in there a month.
Will that change if you give them every junked vehicle in town?
Well, it's a contract, he can't, I mean,
Right.
But he can,
How long?
but he can break that contract with notice in 30 days, right?
Yeah.
So if we do that to him, he's just gonna say, you've got 30 days, and then we're gonna have to find somewhere else for him.
we can build our
Or
own
renegotiate?
Yeah.
Or renegotiate fees, but,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, if he did do that, Scott said that we could use his impound lot if we just did the mowing.
But then we have to like monitor it and all that stuff, don't we?
Fenced in.
I think Marshall worked out something with him on that deal, didn't he?
With Scott?
With Scott, yeah.
No, Marshall just wanted us to continue to use him. I mean, cause he tows for us, he's our only tow here. So he just wanted us to use his, I mean, so he tows it to make sure that he's getting paid from the people, I mean, usually when they.
Okay, I thought he made do something to do with Scott, whether he could use both of them.
No, I don't think that was discussed here.
Yeah,
Okay.
So if we get going on this and
Mhm.
these cars are on people's private property, do we have to get their permission to see who owns the car to get the VIN? Or, I mean, how specific do you have? You said the first route was contacting the owner. Well, the
Well-
owner may not be the person at the house.
Right, so you run it by. So the statute that decides to talks about a registration plate, so be looking at a license plate, running that through the state rather than the VIN.
Okay.
Last owner that way.
Okay.
Now I think, and I didn't print that, our ordinance off, but I think we can look. The public officer has the ability to go look at the VIN on the vehicles. You're not having to get in and do that. And then sent a letter on the church trying to make contact to get in there. I haven't heard back, but I'd imagine the next council meeting I'll be telling you guys that didn't work. I'll
The
go ahead and
Methodist
file
church.
yeah,
Yeah.
file the suit in the district court on that. And then the zoning case, they filed their notice of appeal. We haven't got a pretrial hearing set yet. Their attorneys reached out to judge to get that scheduled. Just haven't seen a date come through. So we'll have more on that as that gets set. I think that's go ahead. I think that's all I have unless you guys have questions.
Council have any questions for Dan?
So on the vehicles, I mean, is that something we want to?
Well, it's tough, it's like we need to do it, and then how bad do we wanna do it and how much cost we wanna incur?
I think if we start with the municipal court route, and then if that's not working,
It could
So
be,
we
it
go
could be
from there.
adjusted.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
I did take some pictures of abandoned vehicles while I was taking a picture of the houses, so, but I have that safe on the side, so we can start on that anytime. He emailed me the letter of the notice to send to the owner, so I can get that out. Probably not this week, cause it's Jubilee, but probably next week sometime.
So we already have an ordinance for this.
Yep.
It just came up in discussion as how do we enforce it is basically, cause there's different routes we could take.
Yep.
And there's nothing we need to pass as far as ordinance for which route you take, you just have two options.
Yeah, they're both there under the code
Okay.
the way it is.
Gotcha.
Council, have anything else on either one of them subjects? Moving on, old business, property code violations, we got 4 of them. And I noticed in our packet there's another one that we just got off of this. Only it's on the other side of the trailer.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did.
So what do you, any discussion on them? Or you wanna put them all together down here under new business, or
I mean,
is there any of them we need to take off?
I guess that's up to whenever, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the land bank that makes the call when they're gonna tear them, or is that a
No.
city
No.
thing?
No, I just need to ask Chad or Austin and tell them that we need to get on the list.
Be nice to just get some of these knocked off.
yeah.
Before you start another deal?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I'll
Jack.
talk to him, cause there's gonna be some land bank properties that need torn down at the same time,
Incorporate it.
so maybe they can just work, give us a slot.
really-
on all of them.
The 518, or the bottom 2.
The 1112 South Monroe, that's the one Tompkins got. I
Yeah,
think.
that one is still there. They, from what I understand, they plan to take it down.
I talked to
Mhm.
Doris, that's what she said.
And so, that's just kind of waiting on that. And then the 101 5th is the Methodist Church, and we're dealing with that. So it's really just the 406 and 518 that are, and they're on their list. They just haven't gotten around
Yeah,
to
I
it.
just
So,
think they haven't circled it back around and done.
because we haven't told them it's a high priority. either,
No,
so-
and maybe we're at that point, we just would like to, hey, can we have it done by July 1st or so, I don't know, something,
just set
or
it.
will your schedule allow, or,
Yeah.
can we do all the land bank and this stuff? by
Do
the
they
end of
have a
summer?
plan for the land bank properties?
Kinda,
Kinda.
not set in stone,
Not
it's just
set in
gonna be a big project.
Yeah, it will be.
Anything else on the property, the old properties? Moving on, swimming pool, correct me if we're wrong, I think we've already discussed that.
Correct.
The proposal for economic development,
I would like to take that off old business because the
Okay.
gazebo is delivered and done. So,
I'd make a motion to take the epic proposal from economic development off of old business.
Second.
motion by Kyle, second by Aaron Gleason. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Okay, moving on, Fifth Street Road by White Food Liner.
Still waiting to hear.
yeah,
No.
still waiting.
Quote from Lane Christensen, Christian Company, I think we pretty much covered that.
Yeah.
Leave it on till the project's done, I guess.
I think that's probably.
Yeah,
What-
you can.
What was the estimate when they could do replace those medias, like when they could come?
He didn't tell me.
Okay, so it
No.
might be a couple months before they.
Yeah,
can
it
do
could.
that. Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
And under new business, housing violations. That's your new set of violations here in your
Yep,
folder.
so in your folder, there's a list of houses with pictures that I thought should be on this list. If you guys have some time, I would encourage all of you to drive around, look at it, cause some of those houses, I'm kind of like on the fence, but I put it on there anyways. What I based the property that's on this list is on what code was that? I'm sorry. Article.
The 4-5.
Yeah, 4-5. Article 4, Section 5. Dangerous and unfit structures. So that's the guideline that I use to put the houses on this list. Obviously, the list is pretty long, and it's gonna be quite costly if we to do them all. Because we have to send like certified notice and all of that stuff to the owner. So maybe we can do it in sections or do it in group. Maybe you can group them of what needed the most and then go down that list.
Cause I mean, something else we have to think about when we tear these down, I mean, we carry the expense because they're assessed to their taxes, but, you know, we've had 2 or so pay, you know, their taxes and
Yeah.
pay the fee, but that's 2 out of,
That was very rare that we
10
get our
to
money
20,
back.
so-
Yeah.
you know, we have to think about that. I mean, we kinda have to fit the bill.
What-
So we can only probably do so many a year.
What would that be to you? 'Cause I don't
I mean,
know.
Historically, we've done 8 to 10.
Yeah.
You
And
know, I
what's
think
the average demo cost to turn them?
5 to
8 to
10. Yeah, I guess there was that
There was
one
the
was
18.
50. Yeah, one was 18 because it was full of stuff.
Oh, okay.
It had so many loads.
And
But-
are you getting into asbestos and all that stuff too, or are we just tearing them?
We aren't having to get into that.
Okay.
Since most of them are smaller, I think we can just get around that. But
We've also got a hiccup coming. I think they're about out of room out at the landfill.
yeah, I do think they.
So is this something we budget for, Pam? Like, or should we do it since we're getting ready for the budget? How
I
many we
mean-
can tear down?
It's all depending on what all we have on our list as far as future projects and stuff like that, and how much we projected we're going to spend the rest of the year and how much we have carrying over. But you know, like he said, carrying these bills of tearing down houses does take quite a bit out of our budget. And like he said, very rarely that we get that money back. But I feel like people that are on this list right here, if you send them a letter, hey, you're in violation, I feel like we can get half of them knocked out, and they probably will fix it if, you know, if they get official letters. But there'll be some
Occupied
that,
houses are a lot harder to actually tear down.
Right.
Is that?
yeah,
But we're not
I mean, we're
necessarily
not
wanting
gonna-
to tear them down, we just want them cleaned up.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
exactly. So some
Yeah.
of these that are smaller violations and people live there, it would probably be worth sending them a notice.
First.
A notice
Maybe
and,
once.
explanation to them of what is specifically wrong to maybe get it fixed.
Sure. And you're right, the mentality maybe is, oh, we're gonna have to see it through to tear down, but that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, we're
So
not
that
going
doesn't
to on
mean-
an occupied house.
yeah.
And I mean, I think we've talked about this before, but you know, if we have to leave a house on a list for 18 months before it gets torn down, we're not tied to a time frame, right?
Right. I mean, I don't think it can be indefinite, but it's
Sure,
not.
but like if you wanted to stagger, if you had 10
Right.
to tear down and you wanted to roll kind of some into the new budget year or something, which kind of is what we've done this year. Some of the ones were torn down last fall, and then we're 6-9 months,
Okay.
you know, still working on the list. I mean, but no, you're right, that there will be some that will hopefully go into action and
Yeah,
work to
It'd be
get them
it'd be ideal if most of them would actually just.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, that would be the best option, but.
Right, and we have had some
Yeah,
that will
there's
come
been
up
some.
and clean it up,
Yeah,
or
off of the last list, I think 3 or 4 was
Yeah.
cleaning it up and was able to get their property up to code and was taken off the
Good.
list. So,
Yeah, I guess sadly, a lot of them end up in tear down, but the idea would be that people would just keep their property up
Yeah.
to code. In a perfect world.
so yeah, we'll put this under new business until you guys have time to look it over and see. Maybe we can pick the first 5 and then start sending them letters and
Yep.
Get going on that, and then maybe in 3rd quarter start another set and see how many we can knock off before year end.
Might be a good thing to put the first houses on the one that's occupied.
Yeah.
Cause you got utility bills occurring on them.
Yes.
Well, are we through with talking about that? Because I'd like to bring it up again when I bring up the work session.
Bring what up again?
Something about the housing violations.
Oh,
But it was more administrative than.
Okay, well, I mean, you can bring it up now if we're talking
Okay.
about this.
Well, it's gonna go into something else. Do you mind if I just hit on what I wanted to talk about real quick?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, Pam mentioned a work session for the budget, and I think I'm really looking forward to it because I don't understand it. I want to learn about it. First of all, how much time do we need? Is that going to be like an hour, 2 hours?
It depends. So, what I would like to do is that since we have new council members and it could be, you know, a refresher for you guys and you as well, and we have new department heads. It's just I wanted to run through how the budget works and what, like, you know, at the end of the year, what we are transferring money and what we're saving for and all of the stuff that we're saving for. And also it's depending on how many future projects that you guys have that we need to discuss and see if we want to add that to our budget. And then, you know, it's just all depends. But as far as running through the basic budget 101, it shouldn't take but like 20 minutes. So our budget's not very big unless you
Okay.
guys have questions.
Okay.
It'll
Well,
take at least an hour.
an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
But
think
it
before,
could go longer.
Right,
but
depending
it'll
on
be a
what
solid
we
hour.
discussed.
I
Yeah,
think before was like 3 hours.
yeah.
In fact, we done it on a Saturday.
We had one a couple years ago, was a 2 to 2.5 hour.
Yeah, but I
then-
think the auditor came down for that one and kind
Yeah, it
of
was,
to like go a very detailed
yeah,
work session.
Okay.
Do you know when you're gonna do that, Pam?
Huh?
Do you know when we're gonna have that?
That's what we're
We're-
gonna discuss
Oh.
next. Yeah.
June 1st? No, is that when you get married? So anyway, on that note, I've been going through like a lot of training. That January I was in the training, February, April, May. I was in 2 meetings in May for I'll call it continuing education. And there's just a lot of good information in there. And I've been in other situations not related to this, but we'd read a book, all the managers, and we'd talk about it once a month. This would be on the same page. So this is the one they gave us that the new members, I don't know if you guys have it or read it, but Pam can buy them. And I just thought maybe there's 12 chapters, it's an easy read. Maybe you could just read a chapter, a meaning, and then maybe once a month just talk about it. Because not only does it have a lot of good ideas, which is a lot of it's reinforced through the training that you go through, and it's just a lot of great information, not only in the books, but when you meet people there and hear other ideas that are coming, that they're running into. It sort of made me feel like we're not the only ones trying to save our city, you know? And there's all the training's done for this year except for the annual conference, which is, I mentioned, it's coming up in October for 3 days. But there's some other ones, they're called city forums. And I don't know what it's about. I'm gonna go visit the one in July in Stockton, just because they're 200,000 more, or 200, I think they're at 14,000. We're at 12, or yeah, we're at 12, they're at 14. And I just wanted to see what's going on in their city and what they're doing versus what we're doing, because we know you guys know more about this city than I do. I'm not from here. But we know what we know what we don't know, but it's the things that we don't know are holding us back. And if we're going out there and find out information, not that we have to do it, but just be exposed to new ideas, I think it might be beneficial for us just to start going to those things. There's one coming up in Concordia. I know it's a bigger city. I was really impressed with the city manager up there. She spoke well and at the conference. She was sharp, and it just makes me want to go visit that city to see what's going on there. And the cost of this is $10. And then if you want to go to a COMA refresher course, I think it's like, was it $60 or something? But it's just a refresher. So you're really, I don't know, I just want to throw it out, and I thought, well, maybe we can just start doing a workshop once a month. I know some of you have kids. I don't know that much. I know you do. I'm assuming you do.
Yeah.
So I have more time and I wanna be sensitive to your schedules, but I just think we need to do it, because some of this is dry, but at least you know where to go to get the information instead of, and I mentioned this to Pam, I like going to Pam for a resource, but I don't wanna depend on Pam. I don't think it's Pam's job to tell me what I should know as a city council member. And I've been through enough of this now where I don't feel like I'm a fraud here, not knowing anything, spending everybody's money. But I just think it's something I would like to see happen, if you guys are open to it. So I don't know what we do, if you wanna think about it until next session and maybe take a vote on it there, and see if I can read my notes. Because in what, like, future projects, that sort of hit me when you mentioned like what future projects we wanna do. In the planning and zoning 101 class, it's suggested that a council member is on the zoning board, so they're not wasting all their time doing zoning, working on zoning issues that aren't gonna be voted on or it's a waste of time to bring it up to the city council. So I'm just thinking, well, does that mean projects? Because also, they mentioned we should have a comprehensive plan on growth for the city. And they said, in the advanced finance class, a gentleman said, that's the best way to assure your people out in the citizens of, well, this is the reason why we didn't vote for that, because this is our 5-year plan, this is our 10-year plan. And those can change. You don't have to stick to them because things change. And something they mention is if you're not voting with a goal in mind, you're just, in his opinion, everything that we're voting on is his personal opinion, and how we see things versus how we see things for the future of the city. So these are just a lot of interesting things, I find very interesting, because I'm looking at this as just learning everything I can, but it's exciting too, so, and that's all I got for you.
Council, got any comment?
No,
Okay.
I think those trainings are good. I haven't been able to attend any of them, but yeah, if there's a conference that is coming up or whatever, just let us know. Or
Well, there's
I mean,
one.
obviously you can't send a message to all of us, but you can send it to us.
Well, I'll tell you
individually.
now, you can sign up 1st of July for the annual conference in Wichita. It's an hour away, it's at a hotel. And they're great speakers, that's all I can tell you. And it sort of gets you out of your element here and just seeing how the other cities operate. There'll be legislatures there which are gonna be telling you what's coming down the pike and things like that. So I'm gonna it's in my calendar, let Pam know for me to get me registered July 1st. That's when you can start registering for it. So,
And this is all through the Kansas League of Municipalities.
correct.
Any more discussion? Okay, we're gonna back up here and get under sewer pond seal bid. We got ahead of ourselves here.
We got one bid
Wow.
submitted.
If he gets it, or they
Yeah.
get it.
So,
Who's it from?
Sandra Davis is the owner. And she bid $225 for this year. For sewer pond.
That's the only bid you got?
Yeah.
Make a motion?
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Make
Do
them.
Sorry, just a second. Sorry. Do we have a specific contract for
Yes.
this?
Yep.
It's already written up, ready to go.
Yep.
Just at this.
Yep, we're just waiting for you guys to approve this, and then tomorrow I'll call her to come in and sign that contract and pay the fee before they put the animal in
I mean, what lays, does it lay out certain restrictions or?
So
what's-
they have to make sure that all the fences are secure, that the animal can't get out. In turn, we try to, like, if it's in a drought, like there's no rain and the grass not growing, sometimes we would water the grass so it could grow for the animal a little bit. But if there is a dead animal, they are responsible of getting that out within the 24 hours. If there is a damage to our property, the owner is responsible to fix it, or we can fix it and then send them a bill. Yes,
Is that for the goats and the sheep?
yes.
Okay.
I guess, and then is this, it says for this year, so is that until December or is that until next May?
No, this is until, I think the contract is until the day that we, like, so if we
So
approve today, so it'll be
it's a
today
12.
next year, yes.
Okay.
But
I
they
just wanted to
don't-
make sure that we were clear and she was clear. on what
Yes,
she was
yep, it's
doing.
stated on there that it's for a 1-year contract and I put down today since we're
Since we're
talking
doing
about
that.
this today, so,
Okay.
But they don't have them on there in off season, like in the winter time.
yeah, they moved it somewhere else.
Just wanted to make sure we knew what we were voting on.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the sealed bid for $225 for this year to Sandra Davis of St. John.
I'll second.
Got a motion on the table, a second by Kyle, or a second by
Aaron
Aaron
Gleason.
Gleason. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. That brings us to the executive session. 3-minute.
We need to set the
Okay,
date.
set date for a budget work session. We already talked about that.
Well, we need a date because we need to get the budget, the amount that we wanted to the accountant, and they need to look it over and then send it back, and we have to let the county know if we're gonna raise the RNR, or whatever that rate is by
Revenue neutral.
July 15th, so I would like to get this done sometime next month, so we have time and not rushing through everything like we did last year.
What date do we have to get that to them? June, is it June 15th?
July
July
15 is when we need to let the
County.
county know, so I would like to at least get it done before July, so the accountant have some time to look it over, and if we need to work on the numbers some more, we have a little bit more time. But just plan for like an hour, maybe a little over an hour.
Do we do before council meeting or do we do?
It's been done also as a way, Saturday before council meeting, during the council meeting, if you want to, like under new business, we can have a budget work
I mean,
session.
I think we ought to do it like on the same, I mean, just
It's just
you
gonna
know,
be a
come
really
in like
long
at
night.
Is it,
6
so
or
you publish
something.
it and it's a public meeting, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and we would just adjourn the meeting and go to a work session technically
Right.
and then
Yeah.
come back.
so it's just gonna be another section by itself that under new business will be budget workshop and.
Could we, just for sake of the budget workshop, needing to go longer, not do it to start, but call the regular council meeting to order at 6?
Well,
Can we call that at 6 and then?
That will have to be a special meeting because the time is
Because the
set
time
by
is set.
the ordinance, I believe. So if you're gonna move it to 6, there'll have to be a special meeting from 6 to 7 and then the regular council meeting.
I guess I would just, not that it would be the end of the world, but it would be a little disruptive to come in at 5:30 or 6, still be doing budget meeting and have to adjourn and come back into it later. Like, it would be better to have it and have enough time to just get through everything, even if it takes 2 hours. Not that it has to take that long, but
I think that's why we've done it as separate
A
night,
separate.
because if it is a 2-hour meeting and we have an hour to hour and a half council meeting, it's just a
Just
long
a long
night.
yeah.
But
So, Tori, is the first doesn't work for you? Is that what you're saying, or?
June 1st does not work for Pam either.
Oh, okay.
I'm the wedding planner.
Okay,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me either.
Don't send me.
How How about the 8th?
I'm gone June 8th through the 23rd.
So that won't work.
I mean, I could be on the phone, but I might be out in the middle of the field.
I'm just thinking the sooner we get it done, the better. Then it's less stress for Pam. We can just, you know, do what you gotta do, get it to where you need to get it to.
I mean, I'm free anytime, I just, whatever works for you guys.
I think we either do it on the night of the council meeting, or we just do it in, like, one of the Tuesday nights that we don't have council meetings.
The
Like
11th.
the 11th or the 25th, just set it separate, or do it all in one night.
It's
Just,
the 11th.
people's
Does that work
weekends
for
are
you?
just
The
hectic
11th.
and.
I'm probably the one that's has the most versatility out of all of you.
Yeah, I mean, I can probably make the 11th work. I technically have I'm on the parish council at the Catholic Church.
The way I see
On
doing
that
it
Tuesday,
on
but-
council is we're already scheduled. I mean,
For that night.
for the council, but
Well, I'm okay doing it on the council night. Let's do it on the
I
4th.
got
What do you
a
say?
long,
Do you have to be here for it then? The budget portion?
I don't think I usually am unless Pam tells me to
Okay.
be.
Yeah, force fun.
Force fine. Do you guys want to do it early or late?
and you're thinking
At,
20 minutes?
at
instead
least
of
an hour, just
An
in
hour.
case, yeah. I'll
well,
try to,
if it's an hour, let's figure a little extra, let's figure a little like an hour and 15, just to,
Should we just do it at 5:30? That way we're not here.
Yeah,
If we
right.
have an hour and a half council meeting, we're not here at 10 o'clock.
yeah, I'm like, if we come in at 5:30, 6:37, start at, yeah, I mean,
So that gives us an hour and a half.
yeah,
Is there a council meeting the 4th?
Yes.
yeah.
Is that-
So if we
June
come in
4th
early,
at 5:30.
yeah,
Yeah,
5:30.
it's fine.
4th at 5:30.
I need a motion.
I make a motion that we hold a budget work session, on June the 4th at 5:30 PM.
Got a motion on the table by Aaron Gleason
Second.
and a second by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. There'll be a special meeting on June the 4th. Or not a special meeting, but a budget work. Okay, is that all for the budget work sessions?
Yes.
Okay. Need a executive session for a potential hire, and I don't know who we want in here.
Just
But,
the table.
Need a motion from somebody.
Make a motion that we go to executive session to discuss, non-elected personnel potential hire for 3 minutes to come back at 8:11.
Pam, was this?
second.
Do you wanna be in it?
To
Got a
include the
motion?
table, I guess.
The
And
table?
Tori.
And
And
Tori.
Tori.
Second.
Motion on the table, and we got a second? Any more discussion? All in favor? 4-0. Going into executive session.
Three
2
minutes.
minutes.
Let's make
Just go get
5.
one.
5, just
We're gonna go back into the budget.
Call regular council meeting back to order. I'll entertain a motion.
make a motion to go back into executive session to continue our discussion about a potential hire non-elected personnel to include everyone at the table and chief of police for 5 more minutes to end at 8:16.
Got a motion on the table. Here, a second.
Second.
Got a motion by Aaron and a second by
Aaron.
Raines. All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Executive. Call the council meeting back into order. Out of executive session.
I'd make a motion that we hire Michael Craven for part-time police department work at the rate of $19 an hour.
Second.
Got a motion on the table, second by Kyle. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0.
I'd make a motion that we hire Michael Craven for part-time seasonal city work at the rate of $15 an hour, pending accountant approval. And with the note that hours would not go above 35 hours a week between both police department and city work.
Second.
Motion on the table, second by Kyle. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0.
Good job. That was a good motion. Are you guys wanting to go into that property, acquisition to discuss that?
I thought we didn't have enough
Okay,
information.
yeah,
to do
no,
that.
I have my note here, and if you guys don't wanna do it.
Yeah, I don't know that we have enough. I think we'll just end up sitting around circles
Okay.
without information.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Got a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a second? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Council meeting adjourned.